Wednesday. Leaves me.
Wednesday.
Lord have mercy.
Wednesday. Why are you rushing the week?
Exactly, because I'm probably ready to be off to start the long weekend already.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I think.
Is that because of what our guests just announced to us?
I wish it was Wednesday. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yes.
You're tuned into another episode of Access Granted, the pod stream. Your boy, Mr. Antoine, is in the building with my sister.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
How's it going, sis?
Oh, it's going wonderfully. It really is. It's going wonderfully.
How's
It's a good
everything?
day. Everything is going well. It is. It's going well. I think right now it's a little quiet, which is actually a good thing. Um, so I would say everything is going very, very well. So getting
Good.
ready to get Selena back to school. She's getting her own apartment, y'all.
Shout out to any kid that goes out and gets their own apartment.
Wow.
Wow.
Y'all pray for her mama.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even pray for her. Pray for her mama. Yeah.
Pray for her mama.
I understand that. But at the same time, I do believe that Selena's going to be okay.
She is. She definitely, y'all. I have been blessed. I think there was a post that was out, and they were just like, the person was like, y'all, tell me, are you supposed to like your child when they're cheating?
Okay, great segue because that was actually Colin's mother.
Okay.
That posted that up, and
really, they're. I know I spent it was 3 good years. It was 13 to 16. And y'all, I had to keep telling her, I love you, but I don't like you, because they're trying to find themselves. And then with that, they're trying to, if it's a female, she'll push back on the mother. If it's a male, they push back on dad. You know, it's that pushback because they're trying to figure it out. And then they're hearing stuff from their peers, and and because they don't know themselves, and we're trying to steer them, not saying that we're trying to dictate who they are.
No, not at all,
or anything like that, but we try to give that wisdom, and they don't want to hear it. But then I think about it, because I always have to check myself. I would always have to ask my mother, was I like this? And she would tell me, and she said it's different because they're given so much. That my mother will say that. She will say that all the time, that we give our children too much. They haven't had to earn, or haven't had things too hard where it was hard for us. And
I think about that often because me not having my father in my life, always try to give my kids, especially my son, who is my one biological child, always trying to make sure he, didn't want for anything, didn't feel the way that I felt, and kind of, and, sometimes now I look back and I say, damn, did I backfire? Did I do that the wrong way?
Yeah.
And, just question myself, as we tend to do,
right.
With that being said, when I got this news yesterday, like this really hit home for me because, though I am no longer a member of St. Stephen's, I will tell anybody until I take my breath that St. Stephen's is always family. And there are still people to this day that I talk to on a very regular basis from St. Stephen's,
Right.
And, unfortunately, I haven't been back there except for one time, which was last year for a funeral. Unfortunately, we'll be attending a funeral there this Saturday for Sister Lillian.
Yes.
I just found out over the weekend that Sister Clementine Barnes passed away. So I will be going back there again, unfortunately, for yet another funeral. But
oh my goodness, I didn't know that. My mother keeps me posted.
This just happened, I believe, on I believe this was like Friday. I think this happened.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So but then, in the midst of all of that, got this really unfortunate news yesterday about young 14-year-old kid Colin Hubbard. Like I said on my post that I put up earlier, man, like everybody knows that I kind of, I was like Uncle Antoine to,
everybody
that came through St. Stephen's. And I got to calling Colin because he definitely had his own way, he was when it came to, the way that he dressed and everything. And really, he came and actually joined the men's choir at age 10.
He sure did. He was singing solos and everything.
And it was amazing to see him, singing alongside his father and everything, man. So, I was actually out bowling with Chris Johnson and Donald Showell, and I think both of them from St. Stephen's. I was bowling with them yesterday when someone sent a text message to Chris, and as soon as he showed it to me, my whole spirit just totally went,
got happy.
And it's been that way ever since.
I'm sure.
I actually had my wife print this flyer out. I think she printed me about 50 copies, and I'm actually either today when I get off air or sometime during the day tomorrow, going to hit the Bel Air Road corridor, man, and just do anything and everything that I can to help, and just praying that this kid, man, makes it back home to his family safely. We went through this as a family years ago with my youngest brother, and when I tell you, it's the most gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching thing that you can go through, and they're going through it as parents, man. So, my prayers, my love go out to Cornelius and Stacy.
Yes.
Praying, and doing everything that we can on our end, to try to make sure that we get this young man, safe. It's real tough. Like I literally had to take about a half an hour before I went on the show because I've been checking social media all day, just hoping for some good news. And unfortunately, up to this point, we haven't had any. So, man, just Colin, man, is a real good dude. But he's 14,
Yes.
And, hell with the fork in the road. There's, there's a lot going on at 14.
Yes, a whole lot.
A lot of stuff going in your ear. A lot of people trying to pull you in different directions.
Right.
And, for all of the stuff that I've heard people say could be happening, I don't see those things happening, but you just never know because it's 14, you know what I mean? So.
Right, and that's why you got to keep the parents in prayer, because it, like you said, it's gut wrenching, and you just don't know. It's it's one thing for a child to storm out because they're angry at you.
Right.
It's another thing for them not to come back home.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So I get that. I had
my son and my daughter storm out, and I'd be like, you say a lot of stuff at the moment that it happens, but then you've had a chance to settle down, and think about it. You like, hey, you come back through this door at some point, or at least hit me up and let me know that you're good or whatever the case may be. So, prayers out to the Hubbard family, man. Prayers out to my St. Stephen's folks, man.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be all right.
Absolutely.
So we have this thing here on Access Granted that we call the L word, and it's not the L word in the sense that everyone else uses it. We use it when we describe people that we consider to be legends. And right now, tonight, I'm excited, man. I've been excited about this show since last Monday. As soon as I got off air, I was like,
yeah, boom. You sure? You was pumping it up last week.
Got this brother coming up, man, because you know why? Because when we have people like this up, I know that the house community is going to show up and show out. I've had people commenting, you got Damond on? Boom, I'm there.
Right, they're going to show up. Okay.
Might not watch none of the other shows, but they're going to come up in here. The house community on. But that's the thing that actually I love about the house community. especially the house community here in Baltimore, man. They really, coming out and support. And
Right.
I had the opportunity to see this guy DJ some sets. I want to say I've probably seen this guy about 20 times, man, and he has never dropped the ball. I always say to myself, I feel sorry for the DJ that has to come up after him, because that's like coming up after New Edition has ripped the stage and Poison was the last show.
Or Mary J.
Song that they, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, wow.
Tough task. And
That's all right.
I don't know, like when DJs, especially in the house community, when they're out, it's usually 3, 4, 5 DJs. I don't know if they look at it as competition, but I have a feeling that they do look at it as competition.
Right.
I think every DJ has that competitive spirit where they say, oh, you doing that? You doing, that's how you doing? You moving like that? Okay, wait till or after they finish, the DJ that comes on after them is killing it. And it's like, oh, that's what you want to do after I finish.
Right.
You want to play, and stuff like that. So, like I wouldn't want to be the DJ that comes on after this guy. I'll just leave it at that, man. My boy DJ Damond Ramsey is in the building, man. Hey, that's the funny part about it, Dame. You look like you're about 35. You've been doing this
for chilling, right?
Years, man. So unless you started DJing when you was about 4 or 5, you're aging well, bro.
Man, I've been doing this since I was 15, man. Wow. 40 years, man. 40 years.
Wow.
And I appreciate all the compliments, man.
Hey, man.
Wow.
Hey, Nicole Marie, shout out to you, sis. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, man, like, bro, I didn't. If you grew up in Baltimore, you either listen to house, you listen to club, or you listen to both.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of the ones that listened to both because I just, for whatever reason, when I was young, didn't really get into house music like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, no major reason. But it wasn't until I actually left Baltimore and came back and started hooking up with people like my brother Dwayne Covington, my man Casper Bernstein. Shout out to DJ T Money who's checking in with us. It wasn't until I started connecting with people like this that I really started to realize just how huge it really was. I mean, like I kind of knew by hearsay, but I didn't really realize until I started to hang out, in certain circles back in probably like 2014, 2015. And I was like, man, this is huge. Mm-hmm. And like I said, bro, like you're one of those ones, man. Like if this is baseball, you're my cleanup hitter. You know what I mean? And shout out to DJ T Money. He says you're his mentor, man. And I think that we'll probably get quite a few DJs up here. The night that we were at City View and I talked to you about coming on, Casper Bernstein was like, yo, if you got him, I got to come up and represent. And I had him today. And now because he's working on a project, he's too busy. But shout out to my man.
Yeah, this is studio time right now.
Yeah, man.
But time, yeah.
And from what I understand, you guys, at Quantize got a lot going on right now, bro. Like,
oh man, it's pretty hectic at Quantize. They're putting out music weekly. I can't even keep up, and I'm part of the family. So. It's for a producer, even if you're working on one project, you may work on that project and think it's finished, and you send it to Spin or Tommy, and they say, no, it sounds good, but you can make it better. So then you're challenged with going back and trying to recreate your idea to make it better, which is like a battle within yourself, because I don't play keyboards. I'm not. I don't have an education in music theory. I just work off of what I think sounds good, right? I try to work off of where my soul is taking me and my heart is taking me. So it's difficult, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of work, a lot of no's, a lot of no's. That's not it. No, that's not it. You're getting closer. That's not it. Okay, well, go back to what you did in the beginning because you had something then, So, yeah, man, it's tough, and I've been producing since about 2007 is when I started, and I didn't get my first release until 2011. So that tells you how hard it is.
Yeah, but you was on your grind.
Right, and I think that was a mistake. I just worked on something and sent it to Tommy, and Tommy played it and Spin liked it. They picked it up. And then I realized, I said, okay, this is no longer a hobby. I'm doing this for real now.
Got you.
Yeah. I can imagine going back to taking something to Tommy in the studio. I don't know Spin that well, but I can imagine Tommy being like, okay, this is good. And then just tossing it to the side and saying,
because Tommy's gonna give it to you straight.
Yeah.
Spin is going to be more spiritual. He's going to give it to you in a nice, soft way with a lot of sugar on it. Yeah. Tommy's just going to tell you straight, like, who is this record for? Who's going to play this song? You're in Baltimore, Maryland. You're not in New York. You're not in California. You're not in London. So, but what makes it great is having that balance. I see Spin as one of my spiritual guides, Tommy as well, but Tommy likes it hard and dirty and grimy, like he likes it raw. Spin likes it really clean. So, working with them, man, it forces you to find a balance to make a good song. And they've groomed me and changed me. Like I don't listen to music the same anymore. Before I became a producer, I would say, oh, that's a nice beat, it's a nice melody. The vocals are nice. Once I started learning that people were supposed to sing in key with the music and, things were supposed to work a certain way, like I can't even play certain records now because they've ruined me. The voice is not correct with the music. The title doesn't go with the vocals. It's all of these little nuances that determine what I play as a DJ.
Wow. Right. But your ear evolved as you grew and you learned. Your ear was evolving as well. So you wouldn't accept that.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be mediocre, right?
Right, exactly, because you are no longer, at a beginning stage or an intermediate stage. You're at an advanced, higher level, stage, and you have to select music that reflects that you've been paying attention to.
And Antoine, you said something in the beginning during the introduction about DJs being competitive. I can't speak for other DJs. I know sometimes it is competitive, but most of the time we're competing with ourselves.
Right.
Like I'm not trying to compete with any other DJ. I'm just trying to be the best that I can be. And that is the struggle that most people don't understand about DJs. Like we make it look easy. But believe me, when we're playing, we are struggling, some of us, at some point. Okay, I have the energy like way up here. How can I keep this energy way up here?
Right.
And I'll be 55 in 2 more weeks, right? And at 55, I can't remember the millions of songs that come out. So, if I'm rocking and somebody comes up and says, hello, hey, Damond, what's up? How you doing? Whatever 2 songs I was thinking about playing, they're gone. And we just up there struggling, man. I'm telling you, you have no idea what goes through a DJ's mind when he's playing.
Right.
We
Right.
have confidence, right? There are some venues and some genres of music that I play where I have confidence and I know it's going to work. Like I know the next 15 songs. But with house music, it's a little different when you're playing with 3 or 4 other DJs.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'll walk into the building and I say, well, I'm going to play these 10 records tonight. And those DJs have played all 10 records.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to fall back on my memory and figure out and feel the vibe
Right.
of the event to figure out where I'm going to go musically.
Yeah. Shout out to DJ Dell checking in. Shout out to Cass Bernstein, man. Get out of here, Cass. You nah. That's my guy right there, man. I love me some Cass Bernstein.
And see, I wouldn't want to follow any of those guys. I don't like to follow anybody. I would rather play first.
Really?
Right.
Yeah, then I have the full creativity to play all the songs that I know that they'll probably play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. Hey, and Ahmed Childs, aka Lastborn Child, is checking in with you, man. I didn't realize that you guys go so far back. That's my brother right there too, man.
Wow. Yeah, man. We used to play in alleys together in Northwood, man.
Yeah.
Playing Little League baseball, growing up in the neighborhood. And when I first got clean in 2005, I went to a place and the first person I saw was Ahmed, who welcomed me to the facility, which let me know that I was on the right path to change my life. Because that was something familiar. God has a funny way of putting guideposts and guide people to let you know you're on the right path.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot in common and you can trust and have faith and hope in a process that you've never done before.
Right. Oh yeah.
So look, man, you mentioned something earlier that kind of struck me because you were talking about how you go in, when you're wearing your producer hat, you go and you take something to Tommy, and Tommy is like, who are you making this for? You're from Baltimore. You're not from New York. You're not from London. So with that being said, what separates the Baltimore sound or the Baltimore feel of house music from the other cities, not only around the country, but obviously around the world as well?
Well, I would say Baltimore and Chicago are more have more in common. Baltimore likes it hard. We like you to bang. New York, New Jersey, they like it smooth. Smooth melodies to serenade you, a lot of organs and synths and leads. Baltimore is hard. We want it hard. And if you're not giving it to us hard, we'll go outside and smoke a cigarette and talk to people that's putting us to sleep.
Right. They're gonna sweat.
Right. Spent a lot of days at Club 347 outside talking about DJs. And that was before I matured as a DJ.
Right.
Because what I realized is there's no best DJ, there's no better DJ. There are different DJs. And sometimes we have different vibes, right?
Right.
And just because another DJ's vibe is not like mine, or I don't think it's where it should be at the moment, doesn't give me a right to judge them and talk about them in a circle of people, right? To taint that person's perception of supporting that person, because we all need to support each other.
Right.
And we always say, house music is love, it's unity and stuff like that. And I had to grow into maturing into what unity really is. So, I had to stop knocking DJs, because I'm sure there's people that knock me. Oh, he plays the same songs every time, or, I don't like the way he play. I like the way he used to play 7 years ago and stuff like that. Well, we all evolve and we change. We change with the times.
Right.
And the audience changes as well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you have people who say they're house heads, but they're only house heads when Collective Minds happens.
Mm-hmm.
So they really don't know about house music. They like it. They go to a few parties. They start hearing different styles of house music. Then they find out, hey, they play house music in Philadelphia. They play it in Jersey. They play it in New York. Hey, let's take a ride. Then they start getting introduced to different tastes of house music, and they evolve. And then they might say, well, I'm tired of those Baltimore jocks because they don't play like these DJs in New Jersey.
Right.
But that's just my little 2 cents to the unity piece and maturing into a DJ. I like it smooth. I like Jersey and New York. People always say that I would do better in New Jersey and New York than I do in Baltimore because I've been Afro like since Afro came out. I remember Tommy telling me at Buns, man, I can't play that stuff at Buns. That's too Afro, man. That's you got a bone in your nose. You out in the jungle. But like 2 or 3 years later, Tommy was rocking Afro.
Yeah.
And then
You were ahead of your time.
Well, yeah, you can say that. My taste was.
Mm-hmm.
And I would listen to my friend Biscuit. And I would hear. So when I came out of retirement, I looked at the scene and I said, well, you have a million DJs out here.
Mm-hmm.
But what separates those DJs, on a different levels?
Right.
And what I looked at was you have DJs and then you have DJ producers. The DJ producers have a wow factor. What I mean by that is Bernstein can take a song that we hear every day on the radio and flip it and put a Bernstein edit on it. So when you hear Bernstein DJing, even though these people may not be house heads, he flipped something that got them to buy into house music. And the house heads are like, wow, I never heard that before. Mm-hmm. So that's what we look for. We look for DJs to teach us about new music, not play the same music over and over and over and over. Right. And that's what separates the Louis Vegas and the Charismas and the Joe Claussels and the Timmy Regisfords. Like these guys have their own edits of songs that you will only hear them play. Mm. And that's what people pay money for. They want to hear that because, it's exclusive. Everybody wants to be exclusive.
Right.
So big ups to, Tommy and Spin and Bernstein and any other producers in Baltimore that are spreading the love, teaching this art to other DJ producers. Because now you have DJ Fella, who plays at Melba's. He's had a few releases. You have Showtime that has done a few remixes. Of course, Bernstein, Charlie Crush, DJ Charlie Crush has a remix on a label. You have Quiet Boy. It's just so many people in Baltimore. You have my boys. I can't forget my boys that kill me if I don't mention them. Saeed Muhammad and Greg Lewis. Greg.
Don't get in no trouble on our show, bro.
No, man. Greg is the engineer behind a lot of Quantize releases.
Okay.
Greg is so underrated, man, as a DJ. People sleep on him. That's why 3 of us roll together. Greg Lewis, Saeed Muhammad, and Damon Ramsey. Then you have my boy Tony Daniels, Walter Daniels, DJ Tony Daniels, which is One House, One Nation, and DJ SW3, Wesley Shaw.
Shout out to Wesley. I went to school with Wesley, man, so I've been knowing him for the better part of 30 plus too, man. Shout out to Wes. That's my guy right there. Hey, real quick, man. We got somebody that wanted to come in and show you some love, bro. My man,
What's up, big brother?
What's up,
Extreme House Nation in the building. What's going on, fam?
I'm good. How y'all doing this evening?
Doing well.
man.
Always a pleasure to see you, bro. Like you literally look the same every time I see you, bro. Look like you just take your face and put it in a
Whatever. All this gray hair, man. Yeah, right.
Don't start hating.
Talking about yours, bro.
We're not gonna talk that. Yeah, well, it's definitely the salt and pepper crew around here. But you mentioned on, in the comments section that Damond is one of your mentors, man. So just talk a little bit about, what he's meant to you since you've been on the house scene, especially as a DJ.
Man, since I've been back on the house scene, when I first got back with Extreme House Nation, Damond always, came down to the place to support. He always gave me good advice, good information, man. And I try to pick his brain every chance I can. He's always been a good dude, man. He's always, try to steer me in the right direction. And, I love him for that because he's just a good dude, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really do, man. The reason I try to support and encourage people is because, like I said, Biscuit and I grew up in Northwood together with Ahmed. Now, Biscuit and I used to be rivals in Little League Baseball.
At Northwood Baseball League?
Yeah, Northwood Baseball League. Yeah. Yeah. What's that? Kelly Field, Callahan Field. Yeah. And so when I came out of retirement, I was, Biscuit was doing his thing. He's been doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, I reached out to him and he said, sure, dude, I'll let you play. And, I got a little impatient. I was like, dude, it was like 6 months ago. You said you were going to let me play. And he said, well, it's a lot of DJs, man. I got a lot of guys lined up before you. He said, but this was the most important thing he told me. If you can't wait, you can always start your own party.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best thing he could have ever told me. So when I talk to guys like T-Money, Rondell Chase, or whoever is, and I'm not saying that these guys said this, but when some guys say, man, I don't get to play, man, those parties and stuff like that, I said, well, don't wait for them. Start your own party.
Right.
You got a group of friends that'll come hear you play, and they'll tell a few friends and a few friends. And as long as you stay consistent, you'll build a movement. You'll have your own following. Then those people that you want to play for will start to recognize that you can do it, and they'll start asking you to play.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that how these different factions of house music, I don't know what you call them, clubs, gangs, communities, whatever.
The gangs.
Is that how it all came about? Pretty much.
Well, Twan, Extreme House Nation, me and Brian Covington, rest his soul, we got together. Actually, me and Brian met at work, man. It was just a love for house music. And he liked the way I played. So he was like, man, I want to put something together, do some events, just have people come and just enjoy the music. And that's how Extreme House Nation got started.
Right. And see, One House, One Nation got started because Saheed Moultrie and I did a party together. And I talked to them about doing a cookout, a free cookout to give back to the people that pay money to come to our parties.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark wasn't ready at the time. So Saheed, myself, and my wife came up with the idea. Love Goddess came up with the name. Tony Daniels was a part of it. Tracy Stevens was a part of it. Wesley was a part of it. And we foot the bill to rent Patapsco, buy the food, and give back to the house community. And that's how One House, One Nation started. And the reason we called it One House, One Nation is because just because I named those names, One House, One Nation is not limited to those people. right? If you've come to the party and supported the party or the picnic or bought a T-shirt or bought a CD or anything, you are a part of One House, One Nation. You know, that's what it's supposed to mean. One house, one nation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it came about. And, you know, it turned into a pretty decent movement. You know, we've shut Patapsco Park down quite a few times. They won't even let us come back out there because, you know, it's a health hazard. You know,
Right. They walk their welcome.
Right. Music too loud.
Yep. They walk their welcome. Get all the Karens mad.
You know, and nobody else was doing that, giving a picnic and giving you everything for free.
Right.
You know, we always want you to come to our parties every week. We want you to pay $10, $20, buy a T-shirt, buy a CD, this, that. No, we're giving this back to you because without you, there's no us. If I don't have anybody to play for, it's just a hobby.
Right. Right.
And that's the concept, you know, because I'm never bigger than the music, right? I'm never bigger than the people. And a lot of people will tell you, I'll get finished DJing the set and I'll go ask them, how did I do? I need to hear it from them. How did I do? I don't care what I think.
Right.
You know, it's hard to see the picture if you're always in the frame.
Mm.
And I'm a vouch for you on that, because when you guys did the One House, One Nation, Extreme House Nation kind of versus thing at the garage, you definitely walked around after your set, because I was one of the people that you asked how you did and, you know, how I felt like your joint was. Yeah. And I loved it. I loved that whole night for the time that I was there. I thought that was amazing. Like, that was almost like 8 of my favorite DJs, you know, rocking out for a whole night. So that was real dope to me.
Yeah, we definitely gonna do that again. You know, it's just that T Money, like myself, you know, we don't just play house music. You know, we get labeled as house DJs, but man, I do graduation parties, weddings, retirement parties, 80th birthday parties, 50th birthday parties, and I'm always busy. That's why you don't see me at a lot of house events.
So dang, let me stop you right there, because you just made a great point. And T Money, you're gonna be able to understand where I'm going with this. So back in the Extreme House Nation days, we did this event called House on the Harbor. And our quote unquote featured DJ was DJ Booby. And I'm gonna speak for myself. I can't speak for T. I can't speak for none of the other members of Extreme House Nation. But I felt at that time that a lot of people in the house community didn't want to come and support that event, because they looked at who we had as the quote unquote featured DJ, Booby, and said he's not a house DJ. It was almost like, how dare you have him as the featured? And I don't know what you think, T, but to me, Booby demolished that boat.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely did his thing.
Demolished that boat, bro.
Definitely did his thing, man.
And I'm just saying that to say I appreciate what you just said, Dane, because I think a lot of times house DJs that love house music get put in a house DJ box.
Pigeonholed. Yeah.
I literally had to go to T Money's house when he lived up off of Harford Road to realize that he DJ'd other music, music other than house music. You know, I've had to, you know, when I met Casper, it was when y'all were doing y'all thing down at the Place Lounge. It was always house music. So I had to hear him finally, you know, do some other stuff to realize. And my point that I'm making is that how do you not just get put in that box of a house DJ, a house producer, when that's mainly what you know what I mean?
Well, I prefer house music. I you know,
it's still a DJ at the end of the day.
I guess it's because I force feed non-house people house music.
Got you.
You know, it's kind of like trying to bring this, you know, sinners to the church. You know, I'm gonna spread the gospel no matter where I am. I'm gonna squeeze it in
Right.
Two
He gonna Kirk Franklin you.
so I'm gonna squeeze it in, and I'm
So even if you DJ in a bar mitzvah,
Right.
house music up in this.
I'm gonna find a bar mitzvah house remix. And we
Yeah,
gonna
one house record in there.
But you know that goes to show you that the Sean Marshalls, the Boobies, the Kenny K's, myself, T Money, Tommy Davis, Teddy Douglas, Spin, all of us, when we started DJing, there was no such thing as house music.
Right.
Yeah. We used to call them import.
You had to be a DJ to please people.
Right.
And if you were fortunate to know somebody to get a residency somewhere, or good enough to get a residency somewhere, and somebody put you on the box and left you by yourself, that's when you learned how to be a DJ. The best DJs have cleared dance floors and learned how to get it back.
Exactly. You got to learn how to read the people.
Right.
You're not playing for yourself. You're playing for the people.
Right. So at 15, my cousin, his name is Kenneth Johnston. He was a DJ at the Gatsby's, at the Caprice, at 32nd Street Plaza. Oh. Now, he used to sneak me in 32nd Street Plaza when I was 15 to open up for him.
Right.
And he would leave me. And that's where I learned how to control a crowd. Mm-hmm. So once I learned how to do that, then I remember him telling me when I wanted to start playing stuff like Memories and Don't Let It Be Crack and Mafumbe, because those were some of the first quote unquote house music songs. He told me I couldn't play that stuff for those people. And I force-fed them. I played it once or twice a night. And then after a while, they started looking for those songs. And I would play Don't Let It Be Crack, and I would play Mafumbe, and they would be going nuts. And I would say, Kenny, look, it's I don't even like the label of the labels that we put on music, because it separates people. Mm-hmm. If I say, if you say it's a hip hop event, then what I'm going to think about is what I see on TV about hip hop. Right. Women being disrespected, dudes talking about carrying guns and selling drugs, and I'm going to think the clientele is that way. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to be in that place.
Right.
Now, when you say R&B, it's a little step up. They can still be a little ratchet, but it's a little classier.
Right.
But when you get to house, it's maturity. Yeah. We don't fight, right? We don't. We very rarely get drunk and get thrown out the club.
Right.
And these labels separate us.
Right.
Some of my parties that I give where we just play house music, I really want to play everything. Like I want to be able to play a Shaka Khan record, Commodore song, stuff that we grew up to, that we can sing along to,
right,
and enjoy ourselves.
Right.
But those labels, man, those labels separate us. Mm-hmm. Just like gay and straight and lesbian and all, they separate us. True. No matter what my belief system is, we're all human, and we all have a right to the same equality to do things or be happy like anybody else. I ain't him. I can't judge you. Mm-hmm. If I don't like your lifestyle, as long as your lifestyle is not affecting my family, hey, live your life.
Live your life. Yep.
And if I can help you, I'm gonna help you
with some music.
Right, because they used to say, listen. I started going to Odell's, and people used to say I was gay because I hung out at Odell's and City and Fantasies. Now, 20 years later, they just catching up. Right? They just catching up, and now they're going to be recognized. Mm-hmm. Okay, come on over, guys. We've been waiting for you.
Come on, tough guy. So T, what's the one of the biggest lessons as a DJ and then all around that you've had the opportunity to learn from Dame since you've been following him?
Like I say, Damon has taught me how, he really taught me how to not be afraid to, if at one point in time, I was afraid I was going to make a mistake when I was DJing. Damon was like, no, man. He said, it ain't going to hurt you. He said, just let it go. He said, do what you got to do. He said, when I first got my controller, he was like, man, hit that thing. He said, don't be afraid of it. He said, it ain't going to hurt you. He said, just release it. You know what I mean? And I've learned to be free with how I DJ the music. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. But you know what I mean? I've learned to just experiment and be free with the music, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what it's all about. Creating new sounds, creating new tones. He taught me how to listen. A key factor he taught me when I was trying to get into the producing thing, how to separate the music. He taught me it's like an orchestra. You know, every instrument plays a part, and you have to listen to position those key parts. And that was real big, man, real big. And now I look at songs different now when I listen to them, you know, because I listen for the different sounds and the different areas where the music is placed. So that was real big.
That's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, that's why I'm laughing.
We were talking about that earlier. Yep.
Yeah, he's been ruined now. Yeah.
A good ruin.
I love how Damon takes an R&B song, man, and he put his spin on it, and he'll make it into a house song, and it's almost like the new R&B. You know what I mean? He makes house music the new R&B.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's saying a lot. That's.
It is, and isn't it interesting? Because early on, when we first started the interview, Damon said, you know, I don't know music theory. I didn't go to school for this, but look at what he has imparted. And people go to school to learn what he imparted and what he does. I mean, I don't, you know, they're in debt paying back student loans to learn what you taught. Okay?
Facts.
Thank the creator for that. Man.
Yes, and that's your gift. That's your.
He definitely has the natural gift. He definitely has the natural gift.
I try not to cry, right? Because anybody that knows me knows I'm a very emotional person.
Yeah.
But that's testament of who you are and how you give. So when you give like that, you should hear these things because it has changed and altered. You know, even T Money can say that if he didn't hear that from you, he may have still been doing the same old, being scared, timid, and never getting to the place that he should be. Right. So, you know, the God-given gift that you had, you didn't sit on it and you didn't look at it like, oh, you know, I don't have the education. Oh, you just gave some schooling right there. That right there is music 202, 203, 334, you name it. So
YouTube University.
There you go. We say that all the time.
I'm telling you, man. YouTube. I got the software. I went to YouTube. I watched the tutorials.
There you go.
I evolved from that. Then I started to watch different tutorials about this and that, and started to just figure it out.
Yeah, because you weren't afraid. You wasn't going to be afraid of it. So that's how you learn, and that's how you grow. Yeah.
And the good thing about it, once he learned it, he didn't just keep it to himself.
Yeah.
He shared it with the rest of us.
Right. That says a lot.
Thank you. I mean, it was, listen, so I'm a recovering addict, right? And like I said, I got clean in 2005, November the 10th, 2005.
Hey, Dane, real quick. Every time you bang the table, your phone moves and it makes this clicking sound. And I know you talk with your hands, so
so keep them up here.
So
keep them here.
The music filled a spiritual void.
That says a lot.
It saved my life. Because when you change your lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
You're used to doing all of these things, but when you make an abrupt change, there's a void. The only thing my mind knows to do is what I used to do.
Right.
Which is why most people relapse on crime and relapse on drugs and stuff like that, because the void has to be filled with something. So those hours of getting up 5:30 in the morning and working on stuff until I went to work and rushing home and working on stuff until I went to bed, it occupied that time when I did not know what to do with my time.
Right.
And that can only come from God.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do this interview, but he has to get all the glory.
Oh yeah.
In everything I do. And everything that I am.
Tell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I told y'all I cry a lot. So
that's all right. That's all right. I'll give you some Kleenex.
Right. And listen, I want to give Pope and OG a shout out, because when I was using, I used to listen to 88.9 on Saturday nights while I was getting high and I was stuck in the world. And what they were playing was calling me. It was letting me know that I was supposed to be somewhere else other than sitting at the table doing what I was doing.
Right.
You know, and I did an interview one time before and I expressed that, but I don't think they ever really knew that. So what I'm saying is, when you have a gift, right, and you practice your gift, or you're an artist and you create an artwork, and that piece of artwork, you may have one intention, but you don't know the impact that your art may have on somebody else's life.
Right. That's why it's so important to be consistent, to stay consistent. Yeah.
So anybody watching this interview, man, if you have a dream and it's something that you want to do, don't feel discouraged. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not going to be easy, right? It's going to be difficult. A lot of people are going to tell you you can't do it. They're supposed to tell you can't do it. It's supposed to motivate you to work harder, to do whatever you want to do.
Right.
I don't believe in no's. I believe no means not right now.
Yeah.
Because it's something that I need to go back and do, because God is not ready to bless me with my desire at the moment.
Right.
It's something that God is trying to teach you in the process. So like it might not be meant for you at that particular time, because you haven't learned what he's trying to teach you and to get you where he wants you to be.
Right.
That's correct.
Yep. Couldn't have said it better. Period.
So look, hey, Dane, this is the crazy thing, man. I had a list of names that I wanted to present to you tonight, just to get your thoughts on different people. And throughout the course of the show so far, you touched on pretty much every name that I had on my list. So, but there are two artists that I just want to give you their names, and I just want you to just give me your thoughts, on them. And that would be Sheila Ford, and Richard Burton.
Sheila Ford. Whoo! if you work with Sheila, you better bring your A game. You know, we did Feel Like Making Love, which was a remake of Roberta Flack's version. And she taught me a lot through the process. You know, everything was in key. She is a pitch perfect person.
To the T.
To the T.
To the T.
You know, she's very versatile, you know. And then so it was great working with her. That was my first time actually being in the studio with somebody of that caliber. Again, OG recommended that I remake that song with her. And spending time, he told me, you can do it. So they said, we're not going to help you, but you can do it. And then, so Richard, I have not had the ability to work with yet. It's coming though, because I love his voice. Richard just has that soul, man, that soul that make those women want to throw their panties up on the
Teddy.
That Teddy Pendergrass vibe, man.
Yeah.
And
have you ever heard him cover a Teddy Pendergrass song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It's like Teddy jumped in him. You know?
Oh, wow.
Close your eyes and envision.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. And you know, he's open to it. I just haven't figured out what song I want to do with him yet. You know, sometimes a producer can think of a project that he wants to work on, and then you find out 3 other labels already did it. So, you know, we're not gonna warm the same soup up again and try to feed it to you as new. You know, so some things I like, and you know, when I work with music, I like to do remakes, but I like to keep the integrity of the original song because then more people buy into it. Because an 80-year-old can listen to Feel Like Making Love and they know exactly what it is.
Right.
Oh, that's that Roberta Flack. Oh, that vocalist killed that. She sounds just like Roberta. But no, she sounds like Sheila. Sheila owned that song. So
I almost want to play it, but I know that it's going to get muted. So I'm tired of going through this with YouTube and all of that stuff. So I'm not even going to do it. But I want to play that song right now just to get that vibe in here. But I will say this. I've known Richard since 1984, first year at Walbrook. We went to Walbrook together when he really was just starting to get into the music thing. And you know, Shamrock on the Wire and all of that stuff, great stuff. But musically, I still remain to this day a fan of his, and I'm supposed to have him come up and do one of my acapella and acoustic segments. He's been a little under the weather lately, but he actually called me today. And when I told him that I had you on the show tonight, he was like, I need to work with that dude. You know, I feel like the same thing that you're saying is almost the same thing that he said. Like, I feel like somewhere down the road, the stars need to align to get you guys in to do whatever magic it is that you're going to make. And I can't wait for it to happen. I know it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it will. Yeah. And you know, it's another brother, man, that I need to shout out, man, and that's Charles Dawkins. Charles Dawkins is one of Baltimore's best kept secrets. If you work with Charles, man, he's not that expensive, but he not only does your work, but he teaches as he works. So he also has had an influence on the kind of producer that I'll become. Because, you know, I'll pay him for a 4-hour session, but we might be there for 6. Because he's teaching me as we go along.
Right.
And if you notice, you know, he goes live sometimes and he's open about the work that he does with his music, and he teaches that way as well. So I don't know if you've ever had him on the show, man, but
never heard his name until you just mentioned it.
yeah,
Definitely.
you know, we all poly graduates, you know, Ed Ramsey, Charles Dawkins, and myself, Neil Conway. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Darren Ebram. He just played the what's that, Jazzy Nights for LaRon Finney, who also went to Poly. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all polygrads. That's why I haven't had him on. If I knew that, about you, wouldn't be here either. But now just
you went to City?
No, I went to Walbrook, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got
You're a warrior.
Yeah. Stop playing. So before we came on, man, you talked about some events and some projects and stuff that you had coming up. I definitely want you to touch on those before we let you get out of here, Dame. So, you know, let's touch on those a little bit.
Well, if you haven't purchased Shine Your Light by Damond Ramsey and Ed Ramsey, you can purchase that on TrackSource, all media platforms, Amazon, iTunes, Beatport. Ed and I have something that I'm still working on right now. His part is finished. Now it's on me. Should be coming out soon, called Questions. And we have the One House, One Nation Recharged party coming up this Sunday from 6 to 10 at 2035 North Broadway, which is Evelyn's place.
Okay.
Yep, that's well, you know, and then Sahib and I will be in DC Saturday at the can't remember the address. Look on my Facebook page. It's on my Facebook page. And then in August 28th, on August 28th, I'll be at Rockaway Beach in New York. Kind of like my first time playing a house event in New York with my friend DJ Warren, who is from Brooklyn.
Nice. And what's your Facebook page?
DJ Damond Ramsey, just my name. Yep.
All right, y'all.
Damond with a D. So you mentioned August, and of course, at that point we're getting close to Collective Minds times.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about that festival and what we have coming up with that this year, because that's like the Super Bowl for house music.
Right. So I know it's in Ricestown, Maryland this year at a campground. So I'm not on the inside like I used to be. I don't know all the details.
So y'all done rocked all of these parks out, and now you gotta go to a campground where there ain't nobody else around.
Right. And then, of course, that weekend, DJ Techniques, who is another legendary DJ in this town, producer, is having a Baltimore music conference that Collective Minds weekend at Safari nightclub. So it's going to be, I know one day it's all Baltimore DJs and producers and artists and stuff like that. But if you want to know about Collective Minds, hit up OG or Tommy Davis or Katasha Smart on Facebook. The detail, this is usually a top secret thing until right before the event. Like none of the DJs know who are going to play. There's so many of us, you know, they usually contact you a month before because we tend to run our mouths, you know. Hey, I'm playing Collective Minds. You know, we don't tell nobody until it's almost time.
Right.
All right, T Money. So if you got a spot, let me know what time so I'll make sure, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't heard nothing.
It's not a month out yet. We still got it.
You still got time, man.
Right. But wait a minute, T Money, don't you have something coming up at City View?
Yes. Yes, I'm up City View July 9th.
Okay.
Doing the grown and sexy thing from 6 to 10.
Okay. And then July the 17th will be my birthday celebration at City View.
I don't know how this collaboration with City View has happened, but I've been to a couple of them, man. Absolutely amazing. I was upset that I missed the last one where the guys, where Casper and whoever was with him that night was DJing outside. I didn't get a chance to come to that, but the ones that I've been to, man, absolutely amazing. I remember the last one I was at, which was what was that? Memorial Day. Because my man was the guy that was outside cooking on the grill, my man Colton.
Okay.
And there were a couple people outside that, I'm not gonna snitch, but they worked at City View, and they were like, "Man, that's house music." Because I wish they would. I'm like, bro, you need to clock out, bro. You need to clock out and go home, because this is about to be a whole different situation going on as this season goes on and the sun comes down. If you don't like house music, you might need to leave, because he was like, they need to turn the music down. We don't turn the music down to house music, bro.
Man, if you missed the last one, you really missed it.
Yeah, I know.
Damon and Greg did their thing. Well, all the DJs did their thing, but they topped the night off doing their thing, man, and it was just amazing, phenomenal.
And that's T-shirt Brian put that together.
Shout out to T-shirt Brian, man. Hey, T-shirt Brian should be a stand-up comedian as well, Buck. That's a funny.
Who you telling?
Shout out to my man T-shirt Brian, boy. But yeah, the whole City View situation, man, it's a beautiful thing. Like I said, I've been to a couple of them. And I will definitely come out to support more, because it looks like a lot of people are starting to celebrate their birthdays during that time. So I'm gonna definitely be out there, hopefully throughout the summer, showing some love, man. I appreciate what y'all doing with that situation. It's real nice. It's a real nice vibe. It's a real good look for City View. About time y'all stepped up and did something. For real. But with that being said, man, Dame, bro, I appreciate you, man.
This is good.
I've made it a point since I started doing this show.
Very good.
Because with this platform, I have the opportunity to reach outside of the walls of Baltimore, so to speak. But Baltimore is always the home base for me. And I've made it a point to have like DJ Booby, DJ Tons, and I'm looking for some other DJs to come up, because I believe, and I'm a little biased because I'm born and raised here, I believe we got the best DJs in the world. Regardless of the genre. I feel like we have some of the best hip-hop artists here. I feel like we have some of the best singers here. Shout out to Drew Hill. But I'm using this platform, man, this is kind of like my make sure I give people their flowers tour. You know what I'm saying? In the midst of doing all of the other stuff that I'm doing, man. So I had actually mentioned to you a long time ago that I wanted to get you on, and it never happened. So when I saw you at City View that one night, I definitely wanted to make sure that we made it happen, bro. And I just appreciate it, man. Because like I said, if it's a baseball team, you my cleanup hitter when it comes to, the DJ lineup, might have T-Money leading off because I know he's going to get on base and might be able to steal a base for me, but I definitely clean up, man. And, I'll find some way in that lineup to put Tommy Davis, because I know once he get on, we might bat around and go, so to speak. But yeah, man, I definitely wanted to get you up here, man, and just to show the love, bro, that I feel like you do, man. So I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate you being transparent.
Yes.
Talking about, the things that you've gone through in the past and how the music has, changed your life, since you become clean. I feel like that's a very important message. Everybody to hear, man, because regardless of what it is that we go through, like music is that universal, you know what I mean? That universal thing that we all can just hear, and music can be life changing. And I don't think a lot of times when people, especially creators of music, especially producers of music, I don't think they always understand how the music can be life changing. Like, I've seen some stuff on social media over the past 4 or 5 months from Black women about how that "Good Morning Gorgeous" song from Mary J. Blige has just turned them around. So when you guys that are on that creative side have that ability to touch people, you know, a lot of times you might feel like you're doing it for you, but like you and T Money both said, when y'all up there DJing, y'all not DJing for y'all DJing for the people.
Yeah, they're being intentional.
T Money, we used to do the Caribbean spot on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a woman come in there one day, stand in front of the speaker and sprinkle half a thing of Johnson & Johnson baby powder on the floor, and she was zoned out for like 3 hours. When she left that event, she was a totally different person than she was when she walked in. You know what I mean? That's the power that you guys have to, like, literally, even if it's just a temporary change, you guys change lives, man. And I just want to thank the both of y'all for what you guys do, but especially you, Dame, you know, because you're the guest tonight. I guess if T Money can find time in his busy schedule to come,
he said he gave us time.
But nah, man, I definitely I really mean that from the bottom of my heart, man, and I'm appreciative. You know, these are one of those shows that I don't consider myself doing interviews anyway. I hate that word. We have conversation, but this is one of those shows that I do as a fan more than I do as a host. You know what I'm saying? So just want to give you that, and I appreciate you, bro, and I look forward to the next time that I have the opportunity to be in a space and just watch you work. Definitely.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No doubt.
Appreciate it.
And one more time before we get out of here, man, both of y'all, let everybody know how they can follow you guys, man.
Well, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Mixcloud, Twitch, just my name, DJ Damond Ramsey, all one word. I try to keep it simple.
2 Ds.
Yep. Damond, DJ Damond.
What about you, T Money?
You can follow me on Facebook at Terrence DJ T Money Gardner, or either G Money Entertainment. I mean G-Force Entertainment. And on Instagram, it is DJ T Money 03.
That's what it is. I love you guys, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
I love these shows because I learn stuff. I learn stuff from shows like this, man. So I appreciate you guys, man. Have a good one.
You too. Good night.
Good night. Thank y'all.
That's what I'm talking about.
That was good. That was good. That was really good.
Real good. That's real good. So, real quick, man, I'm gonna share this flyer again, and then I'm gonna read some information that I was just given as we were.
Okay.
There we go. So yeah, you know, we opened up the show talking about this young brother right here, Colin Hubbard, 14-year-old brother out of Parkville, man. He's been missing since Friday.
Yep, June 20th. Yep.
As we were here on the show, I just got a notification that the Hubbard family, along with anyone that chooses to come out, will be meeting tomorrow evening at 5:45 at Parkville High School. And we're going to be going door to door, neighborhood to neighborhood, block to block, wherever else we may go, trying to find some answers.
Gotcha.
Trying to find this young man. You know, like I said earlier today, I'm not going to stop praying until this young guy comes home safely to us.
Right.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Bellamy? How you doing, sir? I've had a lot of people throughout the day, you know, kind of ask that question. Did he run away? Why do you think he did this? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, right?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The only thing that matters to me is a resolution, and prayerfully a positive resolution. I'm going to keep praying until this young man is returned home to his family. I'm going to keep promoting it. If I get on your nerves, delete my page. I don't care. Didn't need you anyway. I'm going to keep promoting because we don't need this to end bad, but we understand that God has a will, whatever that will may be.
Right.
But I'm going to keep praying and keep supporting and keep doing what I can on my end until I know what that will for God is.
Right.
And of course, the ultimate is that that young man gets returned home to his family.
Yeah.
Hug your kids,
Yes.
love your kids, listen to your kids. Understand that as much as we as parents may continuously try to do everything that we can and give them all of the knowledge and wisdom and understanding that we can, that social media, music, television, etc., 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 is a force against us that we have no control over.
Yeah, it's a different pressure than we
It's a
experience.
different pressure.
Yeah, it's a different pressure. It's not. It is very unknown to us. Yeah, we grew up with pagers. We were the first ones to get what cordless phones, right?
That thing was about as big as a phone book.
Exactly. We were the first ones to experience having a phone in our car, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And now they have, the internet and such, plus the regular
Yeah,
pressure.
right. Every day,
Yeah.
well, high school, we don't need to go into all of that because we see it and hear it every day.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Kendall. I appreciate that. And like I said, and I'm gonna just put it out there, like, don't come to me and ask me why or what do I think, because at the end of the day, the why doesn't matter. My only concern is the resolution.
Yeah.
My only concern is that prayerfully we bring this young man back home, because Colin is a good kid. He's a great kid.
Yeah.
Like I said, he was 10 years old singing on the men's choir. He was 10 years old leading songs on the men's choir.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a really, really, really good kid right there.
Yeah.
And I just pray that he's going through something and just wanted to stay away for a while, and that we bring this young man home. That's the only thing that matters to me. If you send me a text message, if you inbox me asking me what happened, what I thought, I'm not going to reply to it. If you call me and ask me, I'm going to hang up on you. Don't do it. But if you're interested in helping, trying to find this young man tomorrow, meet us at Parkville High School at 5:45, and we are going to scour that community and do anything and everything. Yes, Kendall, he's from St. Stephen's. I'm not sure if you knew Stacy and Cornelius, but he's the son of Stacy and Cornelius Hubbard.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do anything and everything that we can in our power to bring this young man home.
Right. Yes.
That being said, I love you guys. Oh, can't let you go without the ultimate promotion of.
Yeah, y'all just as I normally say, check me out over at the Joy Nook Book Club podcast, because we have a new author interview every Monday. So you can pick that up there or on Facebook at What Women Are Thinking Network. So you can also see it there if you're more of a Facebook person. And head on over to my YouTube channel, which is Alenia Renee, because we have new Juicy Bits and Things podcasts and, podcast episodes coming out. So that's the Joy Nook Book Club podcast, which is on YouTube and on Facebook, but under What Women Are Thinking Network. And then also just come on over to Alenia Renee on YouTube.
I'm going to go back to your old stuff and see if I can start my lock journey.
You got to get yourself some aloe vera, so make sure you deep condition and all the things.
I'm not. This is actually almost to the point of too much hair for me, so the lock thing is never an option.
Never gonna happen, right?
But to my wife, because she is going into month 2 of her lock journey.
Oh, wonderful! Tell her. Oh, I love it.
She's rocking. I can't wait to see.
Oh my goodness! Cara Collins and Sharquell got me started with
Sharquell. Yes, and that's who she goes to. She goes to Sharquell. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna get off because this is funny. So I'm at a car dealership the other day, at the service department. And I looked at this young lady who was natural. And the hair was going everywhere. And I immediately thought about my wife. And so I asked her that night, I said, babe, is it going to get to a point where, yeah, it's just going to look like.
It's not going to look right.
And she said no, because she said, honestly, if it gets to the point where I don't want to do it anymore, I'll brush it out and I'll go back to.
Right. Yeah.
And I know I was dead wrong for that thought that came across my mind.
But at least you asked the question. You asked the question, and she told you what she was thinking. Because this thing is a lifestyle. It's whether you lock your hair or you just flat out go natural. It's a lifestyle change for everyone. Because my mother told me, your hair don't look like that. That's ugly. My feelings were hurt. So, and it was Tara Collins and it was Sharquell who said, no, you can do this. You're in month 3. Trust me, month 4 and 5 is going to get better. And I'm so glad I listened to them. I'm telling you, your wife is going to do fine.
I believe she is, if she can be patient.
Okay. Yeah, because it is a time. It does take some time.
But that sister that I saw.
You said that wasn't it, right?
I knew I was wrong for the way. You remember how we said before we got on that some stuff happened and we know we going.
You going straight.
That's the way that I felt when I was like, oh, so if she just has one of those days where she just don't want it, is that I was like,
No, your wife is she is very particular about how she looks.
Yeah.
So no, she and like she said, I think she's a woman of her word. If it gets to a point where she doesn't, she's gonna comb it out and let it go. I believe she's with the right person. I think she's with the right person because she helped me.
Yeah.
So she's definitely with the right person.
I will be honest. If my wife wakes up tomorrow morning and decides that she's not feeling it anymore, my wife will change everything tomorrow morning.
Right. So there you go. Right. That's why I said she knows. Yeah.
I'm trying to be very encouraging because I feel like I've seen some styles and stuff like that I feel like will be great for her.
Mm-hmm.
So be encouraging and everything, and she's gonna be all right. If she does come to me and say, I want to just come on out, I'm gonna try to talk her out of it first. But once she gets there and she decides that enough, So
what does Sharquell think? Ask her what does Sharquell
would Sharquell do?
Yeah. What would she do?
WCD, what would Sharquell do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So this was good.
Go ahead and go spend some time with that Walbrook Warrior.
He's sleeping, getting ready for work tonight. So
and give your love to Selena, man. Tell her I'm so proud. If you need me to go past monthly to do inspections, to make sure.
I don't think you're gonna want to go all the way up to Frostburg.
We'll take the. Hey, that's the St. Stephen's kid. I will take.
Okay, got you.
I appreciate everybody for checking in, man. We will be back on next Monday. This week will also be another.
Monday is 4th of July.
Oh, I'm sorry. We won't be back this Monday. The following Monday. Thank you for pointing that out. But we will have another episode of Access Granted, acapellas and acoustics. It will be another replay this week.
Okay, good.
Starting in July, we will have new episodes. So I'm looking forward to that. I appreciate you, sis. Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you. Save
me a hamburger, preferably cheddar cheese, lettuce, tomato, onions, and barbecue sauce.
You got it.
Again, thank you, CC. She's tuned in now talking about a great show. Yeah. We appreciate you guys. We love you, and we are out of here. We will see you guys in July.
Good night.
It's already.
All right. Good night.
Yep. Wow. It's already July.